Hello everybody, Nick McDonald speaking. Thank you for joining us once again this week for the ICE commentary on the Russell 2000 and US equity markets. Let's start with the daily chart of the Russell, and first I just want to look back at where we were last week. So last week this was Friday's candle. And we're looking for the market to open up here, and I was looking for a breakdown through that candle and then a move down to test 600, where I thought we'd find considerable support. I didn't really think that it would happen in one day, but we certainly got down there in one day. Big move straight down to 6, and then a beautiful bounce and straight back up to 650 again. So hopefully some of you caught that. There was some really good trading opportunities down around 600. I in fact got two nice trades down off that 600 level, and one of them in particular there at the towards the close on Tuesday. We got this. Virtually all of this rally happened in about the last hour of trading, so it was a very, very nice move up there off a predefined support level. Now we've come right back up, and we've come up above 650, and we've actually come back in, and we've now got a bearish candle in this moving average sell zone. So see when the averages are fanning out, see like when they fanned out back here, they fanned downwards, came back, bearish candle, we broke down through the lows of that candle and moved down again. But through here they weren't fanning, they were just sideways, there was no direction, the market wasn't trending. But then even here again we came down, they fanned out, we came up, we got quite a big bearish candle, we broke down through it, we came up, now we've got a much smaller bearish candle. That gives a better trading opportunity. So early this week, one thing I'm looking for in the daily chart, and in fact the absolute low of Friday's candle is 650. Precisely on the nose, it's exactly 650. So when you break down through 650, and literally I mean 649.9, if we can break down through that, this will be looking bearish. I'll be looking for a move lower. Now what kind of move am I looking for? I'll be looking for, around about the length of Friday's candle as a minimum to be the move to the downside. So around about, and I'm being a little bit rough here, just drawing rough lines, but around about 625, let's say, for a one-to-one move downwards off that level. Now, that, remember, is only if price breaks down through the low of Friday's candle before breaking up through the high. So now what I want to do is I want to look at the weekly chart and the monthly chart and see, do these back up a short trade, or actually are they looking more bullish? So the daily chart is looking short, but only if that happens. Let's just come and have a little look at the weekly chart. And we've actually got quite a different view here, because the weekly candle from last week is very, very bullish. We came right down to 600, bounced right off it, showed complete disregard for moving lower down there, but a very bullish candle, now closed back up above 650. This is looking much more like to come up and test 700, especially if we can break up through the high of that candle. Now granted, it's quite a big candle, so if we got through 675, I'd say it's a foregone conclusion we'll be testing 700 and maybe even higher. However, we just need to wait and see what happens when we get up there, and we may not get there, and things can change between now and then. But at the moment, it's a very, very bullish candle, and usually a candle that bullish, if we get follow through and continue on up, we should at least get up and test 700, which is quite close. I actually think we could get up and test beyond that. So let's just come and have a little look at the monthly chart and see if this is confirming a short for the daily or more like a long for the weekly. And actually, this is very early in the month, so we're only sitting here around about the 9th, 10th of October, depending on when you watch this video. But we have a very, very bullish candle, and we're still making a higher low. In fact, I can move this old arrow I put in there, still pointing out back there we're making a higher low. The main point is we're still higher than this previous low here. So we're still technically in a multi-chart uptrend. We're nearing the extremes of where we can call it that, but it is still an uptrend, and this is a very bullish candle. Any break up to the high of that candle next month would be very, very strong. However, we have got a long time left in this month. So the candle looks bullish, but it's a little bit hard to interpret right now, because we've still got about 3 weeks left of the month before we can actually claim that any break up through that high will be bullish, because we could equally get up through there but still end the month bearish. So it's very early days, and the monthly chart does look bullish, but it is too early to say or to define a level whereby it will be specifically bullish. So we do have a bit of a mixed bag here. I am very short term, I would be quite happy to be traded to the short side. Like I said, at any breakdown through Friday's low, I think we should move a little bit lower. I don't think we'll get much below 600, not without any major bad news. And actually, I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit here and say I think the markets might rally from here. They might rally considerably. However, any major bad news, and I think this news would have to come from Europe, if there's any major bad news out of there, I think that we probably that this won't happen. However, I think there's a lot of bad news now being priced in. I think that the market pretty much knows the extent of what's going on over there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a rally up beyond 700. That wouldn't even be a very big rally. I'm talking more like up to around about 770 in the next few weeks. So I'm kind of looking for that. But of course, any major piece of bad news or any really bad economic figures out of the US could change that. But at the moment, based purely on the charts, that's what I'm starting to think will happen. Let's have a quick look at some of the cash and other cash indices here, because these are backing up my view as well. So the Dow looking here, very, very bullish weekly candle, even more bullish than the Russell, and just beautifully rejecting the 61.8%. Nice healthy pullback, 61.8%, rejecting it. Any breakup through there is just looking really, really strong. Come and have a look at the S&P. This is actually not as strong as the Dow, but still we've got a bullish weekly candle there, quite a bullish daily chart, and coming and looking at this monthly, again we're rejecting 61.8%. We tried to go lower, we came all the way down to 78, but we're coming back up and we're looking like closing the month above that 61.8%. Oh, sorry, when I say closing the month, as we speak, the monthly chart has rejected that and it's back up above those levels. S&P though has got a big level of 1200 to get up through. If we can get up through 1200, we're going to be looking very, very good on the S&P. And then just coming and looking at the Nasdaq, this just still has complete and utter disregard for any so-called bear market. This is still very, very bullish. Just a little bit of a sell-off, only pulled back 50% into these old highs, rejecting them once again late last week, and just looking very, very bullish and looking like going higher. This could be up testing 2400 very, very soon. And if that happens, then by all means, I think that the Russell can be getting up and testing around that 770, which is its, apart from 700 in the way, 700 in the way is a little bit like 1200 on the S&P. It's got to get through there, but beyond that on the Russell, we're looking at 770, and that's where I think we should get to. That won't mean we're out of the woodwork. It won't mean we're out of a bear market. It won't mean that things are looking good economically, but I do think that we've sold off enough now, and we've been bullish enough down at these levels, enough buying has come in to justify a bit of a rally on the way up. Of course, as always, in this environment, we're having to watch the news very, very closely because things can happen that can change that very, very quickly. But that's my view for now. Very short-term bearish this week, looking for a short-term short trade potentially on the Russell, but in the longer term, more bullish and looking for a move up towards 770 in the next few weeks. Happy trading all. Hope that helps, and looking forward to next week's update, and we'll see how the markets are playing out.